Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Lesson 3 of Robert Kiyosaki's legendary personal finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The lesson is simply titled, Mind Your Own Business. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to fundamentally shift how you view your income, your career, and honestly, your entire financial future. Let's get right into it. To start things off, I want to ask you the exact same trick question that Ray Kroc, the visionary founder of McDonald's, asked a room full of MBA students at the University of Texas way back in 1974. After delivering this really powerful talk, the students invited Ray out for a few beers. And as they were all just standing around, drinks in hand, Ray casually asked the group, "What business am I in?"
Naturally, everyone laughed. I mean, most of the students thought he was just joking around, right? Finally, one brave soul yelled out, "Ray, who in the world doesn't know you're in the hamburger business?" But Ray just smiled and gave a brilliant reply. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate." This completely nails our core lesson today. You see, Ray knew that selling hamburger franchises was his primary operational focus, sure, but he never lost sight of the fact that the actual land and its location were the real keys to his wealth. Today, McDonald's is literally the largest single owner of real estate in the world. That right there is the massive, life-changing difference between what you do to earn a paycheck and what your actual business is.
So, moving right along to Section 1, Profession versus Business, and the crucial difference between the two. This is a fundamental concept that, frankly, most of society gets completely wrong. Our current educational system is entirely designed to prepare us to get good jobs by developing scholastic and professional skills. Because of this, we're essentially trained to confuse our profession with our business. Think about the contrast here. If I ask someone, "Hey, what's your business?" they might proudly say, "Oh, I'm a banker," or "I'm a chef." But if I follow up and ask, "Oh, so you own the bank? You own the restaurant?" they'll usually say, "Oh, no, I just work there." See, they have a profession, but they absolutely do not have a business. And here is the ultimate trap. You become what you study. If you study cooking, you become a chef. Study the law, you become an attorney. The crucial point here is that when you only focus on your profession, you end up spending your entire working life minding someone else's business and making them rich. You work first for the owners of the company, then you work for the government through your taxes, and finally, you work for the bank that holds your mortgage. It's a treadmill. So how do we actually break out of this cycle? Well, that brings us to Section 2, Building Assets while keeping your day job.
Now, Kiyosaki isn't telling you to march in and quit your job today. Go be a fantastic, hardworking employee. But the second you get that paycheck, you need to follow the golden rule of wealth building. The rich buy assets, the poor only have expenses, and the middle class, well, they buy liabilities that they falsely think are assets. Think about it for a second. Millions of people think their home or a brand new car is their biggest asset. But Kiyosaki quickly points out that a new car loses nearly 25% of its value the absolute second you drive it off the lot. If a thing is taking money out of your pocket every single month, it's a liability, plain and simple, not an asset.
So, you're probably asking yourself right now, if a house or a shiny new car isn't an asset, what actually belongs in this column? What in the world should we be focusing our extra time and money on? Here are the exact vehicles Kiyosaki recommends you acquire to build true wealth. First up, businesses that do not require your physical presence. Because look, if you have to be there for it to run, it's not a business anymore, it just became your job. Then we have paper assets, things like stocks and bonds. Next is income-generating real estate, properties that literally pay you cash flow every single month. He also includes notes, or IOUs, and royalties from intellectual property like music, scripts, or patents. Basically, the whole shebang boils down to this. You want anything that has real value, produces income, appreciates over time, and has a ready market. I absolutely love how Kiyosaki frames this concept. He says, once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. Think of it this way. Every single dollar you pour into these assets becomes a tiny, tireless employee working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't ask for sick leave, it definitely doesn't need a vacation, and it can literally work for generations. Your number one goal is to build a massive army of these little employees. Okay, let's see how this dramatically changes your lifestyle in Section 3, Buying Luxuries Last, treating them as a reward, not a burden. There's a massive, glaring divide in how different classes operate when it comes to the fun stuff. The middle class constantly finds themselves in a financial struggle because they buy luxuries first. They go out and buy the big houses, the boats, the flashy jewelry, all on credit. They use their own sweat and blood because, well, they want to look rich right now. But the old money rich, the long-term wealthy, they do it completely backwards. They build their asset column first, they delay that gratification, and then, and only then, they let the income generated from those assets buy the luxuries. Here's a perfect real-world example from the book. Kiyosaki's wife, Kim, really wanted a new Mercedes. Now, she didn't just run out to the dealership and finance it on credit like most of us probably would. Instead, she waited 4 full years. She just kept investing in her apartment houses until that real estate portfolio generated enough extra passive cash flow to buy the car outright. Think about that. The apartment houses bought the car. It took 0 extra work and 0 extra risk on her part.
What's really fascinating about this is how it completely redefines the idea of a true luxury. A true luxury isn't just some shiny object that traps you in debt and keeps you stuck running on the hamster wheel in the rat race. Not at all. It's a reward for your financial intelligence. It's a very real reward for investing in and developing a true asset. When Kim finally drove that Mercedes, you better believe it meant so much more to her, because she had proved she knew exactly how to grow her asset column to afford it.
So, what does this all mean for you right now? Let's get into Section 4, your next step, a blueprint for wealth.
Here is your actual real-world blueprint. Keep your day job. Go be a great, hard-working employee. But starting today, pour every extra dollar you have into your own business, which is your asset column. Keep your expenses low, reduce your liabilities, and please, stop focusing entirely on getting a pay raise just so you can buy more things that immediately lose their value. Build that fortress of assets.
I really want to leave you with this. Ask yourself this provocative question today, like right now. Are your dollars working for you, or are you just working for your dollars? Make the decision today to stop funding everyone else's dreams at the absolute expense of your own. Take control of your business.
And hey, if you want to learn the absolute biggest secret of the rich, the one thing that puts them way ahead of the pack, you are not going to want to miss our next explainer. We're going to be diving deep into Chapter 4, looking at the fascinating history of taxes and the incredible, almost unfair power of corporations. So hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss it. Keep learning, keep building those assets, and we'll see you next time.